Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Sewing Antics with Laurie. Well, I guess that's what I'm going to call it. Anyway, while I'm waiting for my bias tape to come in to finish that walkaway dress, I think I'm going to be getting rid of that pattern, by the way. I thought I'd do another little project. You know how I always said that Pinterest was evil because there's so many things that I want to do and you just pin them and you never get them made. Well, that hasn't changed. But on Facebook, once you look at something, it gives you ad after ad after ad of things that you looked at or things kind of like that. So that's where this project came into mind. I seen this cute little basket, and I think it was probably made for supposed to be an Easter basket or something. I can't remember. But I thought, wouldn't that be a cute little Halloween basket to make to give your loved one some goodies? And you're supposed to click on it and, of course, send off for the pattern. But I can make a pattern to do that. And I think it was called the tulip basket. And so I kind of watched and seen how much her hand covered the pattern and decided that I can make that pattern. So I did, and I'll show you how I did that. Now, I don't know if it's going to be right because today we're going to sew it, but if it does, I have one of these folders. They're just little plastic folders that you get anywhere, and I will make a permanent pattern out of this. And yes, this has been around since my mom was secretary at the high school, and she retired in the 80s, so it's had its use, but it's going to have another one. So here's what I did. So I got a piece of paper, and I decided that her hand about covered the whole thing, so I put my hand down there, and I said, okay, that's about 4 inches on each side. So I did the 4 inches, and the point to the side would also be 4 inches. There, 4 inches. And then I had to make this top. And I didn't have anything that exact size, but when you mark the center there, and you put your roll of tape on that center to the 4-inch mark, and it makes a perfect curve, and so then you just scoot it over and make your other curve. So that is my design. It will be sewn together. You sew the points. That. You will sew these together, and then you will sew the sides together, and then this will be the little tulip edge. So I thought, well, that looked about right for a little basket. I don't know, can y'all see that? So I think this would be about the right dimensions. You know, to make a bigger basket, you just make your sides and your point bigger, and you can make a big as basket as you want. So the fabric I chose was these little hearts and those hearts, and then you need some kind of lining. And so I just went over there and grabbed some more of that bed sheet, and that'd be my, whoa, sorry, you guys just fell. Lining. And then for the padding, I have some leftover batting from the quilts I've been making. So I got all the pieces together to make the actual basket. And then it needs a handle. So I think I'm going to do this for my handle. And I was just guessing that it probably needs to be 4 times your height and width. And so that made it 16 inches. So I think what I'm going to do, how I'm going to sew this together is I'm going to sew these 3 together, and then I'm going to cut in the middle down this one and sew it on the other side, and then sew it together with this in the middle of it, and that will go on the basket, because I think I want just this on the edge and that on the edge, and I didn't want two little bitty pieces. And I think I may secure the handles on with these little pink buttons. So I guess I will get started. And I thought that would make a cute little Valentine's Day basket. Put some goodies in it and give to somebody. Could also be like a May Day basket, and you can put some flowers in it or some seeds for someone to grow some flowers. Just coming up with some ideas I thought might be cute. Okay, so I'm just going to take my lining piece, and I'm going to take one of the batting pieces, and then I'm going to put my front piece together, sandwich that all in there. And you can pin this if you like. I'm not going to. And I'm going to sew all the edges from here to here, part of that point. So here's my other one. I'm going to put right sides together. I'll get them all lined up at the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew down that, and I'm going to repeat for all of them. I was struggling to get the points all straight. I should have trimmed the batting down 1/4 of an inch, but I didn't. I learn something new every time I sew. And we have the 6 little petals together. 2 things I've learned. I probably not only should have pinned it, but I should have kind of went around each petal before I sewed it, because I think that would have helped it stay. It kept slipping, and now they're not all even, but I can fix that. Sure I can. And will I continue to use pins? Yes, I'm going to have to use a few pins. Oh well. So anyway, that's what that looks like, and that is the inside, but we'll have a lining that goes over that. But now you're going to sew from this point to this point. So, and that will make your edge just before the curve. You're not going to sew up the curve, just 4 inches up. So let me put my pins in this time, and I'm going to sew that. So here I am pinning, pinning, pinning. I like these new pins I have that have the flat heads on them, but I need another pack of them. Anybody want to get me another pack? And while you're at Hobby Lobby, would you pick up my binding? Thanks. I'm taking the nice pattern I made and making sure I mark in the right spot with my pen where to sew. Putting pins back. And here we go. I guess I should have marked that in the beginning. Hindsight's 20/20. And there we have our little basket. We're not quite done with it yet. Have to make the lining and these little tops fold over. And that will be with your lining material, which mine is these. Oops, didn't get that cut, did I? So once the lining is done, they go like that. And that'll be all around the edges, all these little tulips. I just heard the dryer go off. Guess I can't do that anymore because I'm the only one here, so I guess I get to stop for a minute and go get those shirts out of the dryer before they wrinkle. I'll be back to finish. Well, I have my little basket done, and I have the lining done. And you would put right sides together and leave an opening so you can turn it the right way. And I thought, okay, that sounds easy enough, but why make it easy? So I found some eyelet lace. I thought, wouldn't that be cute on the little scallop tulip things that fold down? Yeah, I think it's going to be cute. Can I sew it without messing up? Questionable. So what you would do, you would take your two right sides, that's what you're going to sew along here. But you want your eyelet here, so you have to tuck your eyelet in when you sew. So the band of that eyelet is going to be where you sew at. So you have to put it in between these two things. So I will be using lots of pins to keep it in place. Look how many layers. I mean, you're going to have all those layers, and then you'll have those, and then this. You'll have to tuck that in as you go. Okay, I'll get it all pinned and then I'll show you. That's a lot of pins. And here's a tip. Always do your seams first. Line up all those seams, because if you don't, you'll be taking some pins out just so you can line it all up. Now this is where I'm going to leave it open so I can turn it to the right side. So I'm going to start sewing about right here, and we'll see if I can catch the eyelet without going too far into the eyelet, because I can't see it. You can only guess unless I kind of take the pin away. So let's start. What the heck? Oh, drink your water. I'll take my little piece off there so it slides in a little better. Here goes nothing. I won't be back tacking because you are going to go back and edge stitch it. Alright, here we go. I'm using about a 1/4 inch seam. Hope it's right. Stitching around there, praying I get all the layers together and don't miss the eyelet. I probably should have sewn the eyelet to one side and then sewed it all together. But that would have been just an extra step, and I was ready to get this done and praying to the sewing gods that it all went great. It's just my first one after all. I can make adjustments down the road if I decide to make another one, right? Almost done. Just throwing those pins. Wow, I think that turned out cute. Then of course I'll have to stitch this by hand. And then you fold these down and tack them. Ooh, you could put a cute little button on each one of those. Anyway, fold this down, tack all those, and then we'll work on our handle. Yeah, I think that turned out cute. What do y'all think? So I took it over to the ironing board and I pressed under about 1/4 inch there so I could line it all up. Put me 10,000 pins in and I'm ready to sew around the outside. Back to the sewing machine. This was probably the easiest part, just going back around the edges. What could possibly go wrong? This really has been a fun project. I like the way things turned out, and it's really versatile to make different sizes of baskets just by changing up the dimensions of your original pattern. And you could dress it up or down as much as you wanted to. I will probably be making more of these. Alrighty. So now, these need to be tacked down. So you could either just catch this back fabric and tack it back there. That's probably what you should do. Or you could sew, I guess, all the way around it again. I think that it'll look better just tacked. Let's look. Yep, I think that's what I'll do. Just hand tack each of those around there. And then put my handle on. I have my stuff for my handle, but then I had a thought. Is this going to be enough to keep the handle in the upright position, or just going to flop? So now I am doubting myself. I wonder what they used in between there. It just looked like batting. Let me sew and let's see what I think. I really have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm pretending. I definitely should have cut these to the dimensions that I wanted because they were uneven, but at this point I didn't care. I was ready to get it done. And I'm trying to clip things as I go, but I always have to clip the threads at the end. I never get them all. And nope, I'm not using pins. I'm just lining it up and going all willy-nilly. And I had to go iron it to get the seams straight, which they didn't. It didn't go straight. I had to do it twice. And there, I forgot to iron that over, but oh well, I'll just press it with my hands and go on. And there, I'm almost done, but uh-oh, what did I forget? Did I forget to put the batting in? Why, yes, I did. Is that going to be a problem? Nope. Because I have one of these handy dandy things. You can get this at O'Reilly's or Napa. It's got this cute little grabber. So I can just grab that and just pull it on through. Voila. Gonna get everything like I like it. Cut off this excess and that excess. Get my basket over here and make sure that's how I like it. Oh, I think that's gonna be cute. So I'll tuck my sides in and sew that together, and then I will probably go ahead and do some stitching in here just to keep it all secure. Trying to get all those ends tucked in, and I should have trimmed some more of that batting out, but I didn't, and it's going to bite me in the butt in the end, but I just went on with it. Doesn't take long to sew those little ends together and clip off the excess, and then I'll be done, right? Wrong. There's always something. And there's our little handle. Now we'll put it on our basket with our little buttons. I think I should have made them a little smaller. I should have tapered it. That would have been cute, huh? Yep, looks like I'm going to take it apart because I think I want it tapered. Stay tuned. And how do you make a point? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here's what I'm going to do. Oh, Sassy's going to say, oh, Sassy. Philip's retirement dog, Sassy. You want outside? Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, here's kind of how I do one. It's about 2 3/4 inches from side to side, so I measure that far up, and I find my center. Which, let's go away. It's about, see, it's a little over 2 3/4, not much, so we're going to call it 2 3/4. So 1 1/4, and that little notch past it, I don't know what that's called right at this second. 3/8, 1 3/8. And so you draw a line from your center to your 2.5 inch mark. If I can find a bigger piece of chalk. And this way. Turn it around. On this one, you're not going to sew both these shut because then you wouldn't be able to turn it. But I'll be clipping part of this off and folding it under. And I got to remember this in there or I'm not going to be able to get it back out.